Hey everyone, and welcome. So, what if I told you there's a simple little tweak you can make to your sentences that can make your writing way clearer, way more powerful, and just more persuasive? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, that super important tool, the difference between active and passive voice. And trust me, mastering this isn't just about passing a grammar test, it's about taking control of your message. So, let's get right into it.
Here's the game plan for today. First up, we're going to get a really solid grip on what voice even is. Then we'll look at both sides of the coin, the direct, punchy, active voice and the more strategic, subtle, passive voice. After that, we'll get our hands dirty and learn exactly how to switch between them. And to wrap it all up, we'll put your new skills to the test with a quick quiz. Sound good?
All right, so first things first, what is voice in a sentence? You could think of it like being the director of your own movie. It's all about the relationship between your subject and your verb, and it lets you decide where to shine the spotlight.
Let's see this in action, because it makes all the difference. Take a look at the left side. The boy teased the girl. Simple, right? Your focus immediately goes to the boy. He's the one doing something. But now, look at the right. The girl was teased by the boy. See what happened? The spotlight just shifted. Now the most important part of the sentence is the girl and what happened to her. Same exact event, but a totally different feel. That's voice at work. And that right there brings us to the official definition. At its very core, voice is just about whether the subject is the one doing the thing, like the boy in our first sentence, or the one receiving the action, like the girl. It's all about who's doing the acting and who's being acted on.
Here's probably the simplest way to remember it. Active voice is all about the doer. You're asking, what does the subject do? But with passive voice, it's all about the action. The question becomes, what is being done? That little shift in focus is the key to everything.
Okay, let's zoom in on the active voice. You should think of this as your go-to, your default setting for most of your writing. Why? Because it's direct, it's clear, and it puts the one performing the action right there in the spotlight.
So, why do we lean on active voice so much? Well, because it's a straight line from point A to point B. The subject does the verb to the object. Done. The sentence just drives forward, and there's no room for confusion. This kind of structure gives your writing energy and makes it feel really confident and just easy to follow.
And here's a perfect bite-sized example. Hens lay eggs. Who's doing the action? The hens. What are they doing? Laying eggs. It's direct, it's strong, and there's absolutely no confusion. That is the active voice doing what it does best.
Okay, let's flip over to the passive voice. Now, you might have heard that it's the weaker, less good option, but that's really not fair. The passive voice isn't a mistake. It's a strategic tool you pull out of your toolbox when the action itself is more important than who actually did it.
So when is it the right tool for the job? Well, there are three main situations. First, when you have no idea who did the action. Like, my wallet was stolen. Who stole it? No clue. Second, when the doer just doesn't matter. The house is being built. We care about the house, not the specific names of the construction workers. And third, when you want the result to be the star of the show. The prizes were given away. The prizes are the big news here. Let's circle back to that house example. If we say it in the active voice, the men build a house, our focus is on the workers. But when we switch it to the passive, a house is being built, our attention completely shifts. The house becomes the main character of the story, and the builders just kind of fade into the background.
All right, time for the mechanics. We know the what and the why, so let's get into the how. How do you actually flip a sentence from active to passive? It's a simple, step-by-step process, I promise.
It's really just a simple four-step recipe. Step 1, you take the object of the sentence, the thing at the end, and you move it right up to the front. Boom, it's your new subject. Step 2, you add the right form of the verb to be, like is, was, or will be. Step 3, you change the main verb into its past participle form. And finally, step 4, you can stick the original doer at the end using the word by.
Let's really look at that crucial first step, the big swap. In the active sentence, Mahesh holds a book. Mahesh is our subject, and a book is the object. To go passive, we just flip them. A book moves to the front and gets the starring role as the new subject, while Mahesh moves to the back. Now, one little thing to keep in mind when you're doing that swap. If your subject is a pronoun, it has to change its form. I mean, you wouldn't say, the book was held by he, right? It sounds weird. As you can see here, I becomes me, he becomes him, she becomes her, and so on. Pretty straightforward.
Okay, let's talk about the verbs. The tense of your sentence actually stays the same, but the verb structure changes.
So for a simple present tense sentence like, the movie fascinates me, we pull I to the front, add the helping verb am, and use the past participle, fascinated. For simple past, the movie bored me, it's the exact same logic, we just use was instead. I was bored by the movie. See?
Now, what if you see one of those ing verbs for a continuous tense? Well, your new magic word is being. That's the key. Bob is drawing becomes is being drawn. They were waiting becomes he was being waited for. You just slot that word being in right before the main verb and you're good to go.
And finally, for the perfect tenses, those are the ones that use has, have, or had. Your magic word is been. She has written a novel turns into a novel has been written. She had won the match becomes the match had been won. Just pop been in there and you're all set.
Okay, you've learned the rules, you've seen the examples. I think it's time to put all that new knowledge to work. Let's do a couple of quick questions and see how you do. Ready?
All right, question number 1. Mother made a cake yesterday. How would you switch that to the passive voice? Now think about the verb tense. The word made is simple past, so what helping verb are you going to need? Take a look at the options.
And the correct answer is C. A cake was made by Mother yesterday. That's because made is simple past, so you needed that past tense helping verb was. Excellent job.
Ready for round 2? Here it is. She has written a novel. This one's in the present perfect tense. So what was that magic word we need to add for the perfect tenses?
You got it. The answer is B. A novel has been written by her. Since it's a present perfect tense, we had to pop in that magic word been. You are totally getting the hang of this.
So here's the real takeaway. Neither voice is inherently good or bad. They're just different tools for different jobs. The active voice gives you that directness, that punch. The passive voice gives you a way to shift the focus, to sound more objective or even write around a mystery subject. The real power isn't just knowing the rules, it's knowing when to choose clarity and when to choose emphasis. The choice is now yours. Thanks so much for joining me.